There's a big problem with meme coins recently, and you've probably noticed on chain that things are just changing. They ain't the same as they were last year. We used to see CTOs and funny meme coins lasting days, weeks, months. Some of them have lasted over a year. And now we can't see memes last longer than a few hours. Right? Most people now are more worried about their daily P&L than making quote-unquote life-changing gains, as we used to. So I thought I'd make this video to discuss with you guys and just give my personal opinion on why this space has changed. And hopefully this video gets around to other people and they can leave their opinions on it as well, because this is something which is like the elephant in the room, which nobody really wants to discuss. But it's the matter that new traders are getting absolutely wrecked right now. And it's because they're going against other people who have been trading for years. It's kind of like this video that you see in the back, right? Jiu-jitsu, right? It's the white belts going up against the black belts, and we're all playing the same game. Now, long term, this isn't going to work, because if no new people can get better and new people don't feel the need to trade, then this new wave of meme coins won't last, and people will go back to altcoins. They'll go to leverage. The amount of even whales that I know right now that have completely left the Solana space and they've gone to leverage trading is unbelievable. In fact, if you look at all the wallets you use to track, you'll see that most of them are dormant now and they're not trading. It's actually a completely different era of people, and those people are just not making the same that we used to. Now, why is this? I personally think it is a few things. Number one, it's actually the terminals. Right? We use trading terminals now, and before I actually used to use DeFi Llama. If you guys even remember trading meme coins on that. Right? We used to go on a DeFi Llama or BonkBot, for example, or Trojan, and used to be in the Telegram, and people would send you memes and you just buy it on there. You wouldn't be able to see a live chart. You wouldn't see a live feed of data. Nobody would use Pump terminal, for example. You just use that, and it was a lot more community based, right? You used to hop inside a Telegram, and if somebody added a buy bot, everybody would lose their head. And we used to stick with these communities for a long time because there wasn't that much information. And if your position was down, you probably would just leave it. Now what we've seen is we have terminals, and everybody's worried about their P&L, and it's all about how much Solana you've made a day, and that's the only focus. So that leads, as soon as there's a new meme coin come, you sell that meme and jump onto the next one. You sell that old one, jump onto the next one, and it becomes this heavily rotational effect. And before it used to be rotational in weeks, then it became days, and now it's hours. Right? If your meme is not the fresh Elon tweet, the old one's going to 4K. It could even be at millions, right? Now, I also think there is a second problem. And the second problem is actually the major problem. And that is actually the larger KOLs. As a trader, myself, right, we have to adapt to the market. And I understand that a lot of larger channels are doing a similar thing. And look, if you're not adapting to the market, you're going to lose money. Right? At one stage, I lost almost $100,000 because I was still trading the same way as I used to. But the market doesn't change. You have to adapt to it. I adapted to a different strategy. I'm already up over $100,000. And that is simply because I've realized that, number one, people are not trading with as much money as they used to. So if you buy a large amount, you're going to get wrecked because people are just looking at green candles to sell them, right? Holding a little bit longer, actually, because everybody's trading, so I actually hold a little bit longer. And also doing the same thing and rotating onto the next one and just trying to be ahead of everybody else. That's what most people are doing right now. But it leads to a market where nobody wants to trade, right? I'm sure you've probably lost, hope here and there. You've been trading, you're like, I can't even bother for this. Like, this is just, even though it's great money, it's just boring. Right? It's starting to get boring for a lot of people. And especially for new people, it's even harder because you're sat there, you're on your Axim or whatever, you're looking at bundles, and you're looking at this, you're looking at that. There's so much information you just end up making no decision and losing money, right? And the major KOLs know this. And the major people around it know this. We used to go from all banding together, calling major tokens and watching them run, the Moodangs and the Popcats, etc., to now being afraid to even call a coin because it doesn't last longer than 8 hours and then you look like the bad guy, right? Because again, you can't fight the market. So what needs to happen? I don't know. I'll leave my thoughts. I think one thing that needs to happen is that major KOLs actually need to start speaking about this a little bit more instead of just one tweet. Well, you need to speak about this a little bit more. And also banding behind big memes. Like when there's a big meme that runs, money follows influence. So if everybody is just trading, again, in and out of the chart, it's going to diminish over time. But if people actually buy it and set the standard for holding a little bit longer, then tokens are going to last. And even if you're a scalper, it makes sense to actually just donate to these charts because it keeps the market going, right? But if we don't, it's not so long away from the pump fund token launching. And I personally think once the pump fund token launches, it's probably going to be the end of this game, right? And that won't be the end of the game for everybody. You know, a lot of people here have made a lot of money. We can go trade perps, we can go do whatever. But I do think that this new style of meme coins has showed actually how toxic the altcoin space was. If you was around for the altcoin space, you would have seen all of that stuff. And those founders were actually just Ponzi's. They were meme coin founders, right? It's literally meme coins. So that exposed a new space of a new way to trade. And hopefully this way of trading can last a little bit longer, because I do think it's actually good for new people if we start bringing back more communities, if we start going back and even reviving old tokens and keeping with them, and we change people's mindset to set a new precedent of holding. What happened to Diamond Hands? Diamond Hands is now a joke. You used to be serious. If you had Diamond Hands, you was the guy, right? Now it's what's the next token? What's the next token? What's the daily mail? What's the hourly mail? Maybe it never changes, but that's just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment sections below. Let me know what you feel about the market, whether you think it even needs to change, right? I appreciate you guys. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, subscribe as well. I live stream trading every single day. I'll see you guys over there.